Hey guys, I just wanted to take a quick look at Dannii Minogue's birth chart to find out what is up with her and why her career took the turn it did. As you may know, Dannii is a singer, songwriter, actress, model, and TV personality, but she's mostly known for being Kylie Minogue's sister. But why is that? So let's take a quick look at her chart. The first thing I'm noticing is the fact that Dannii has her south node in Leo in her 10th house and her north node is in Aquarius in her 4th house. The nodes represent your life path. The south node represents what you were in a past life, the things you mastered in a past life, and also your early life, while your north node tells you the lessons you need to learn in this lifetime. The 10th house is the highest house on the zodiac. It represents your success and your reputation and your potential for success and wealth. So having the south node there could mean that Dannii in this lifetime wasn't meant to be in the spotlight, especially since it's in the sign of Leo, which rules celebrity and the entertainment industry. That 10th house Leo South Node can also symbolize early success in life. And a fun fact that a lot of people don't know is that Dannii was in the spotlight in the early 80s, way before his sister Kylie. She became a regular on a show called Young Talent Time at the age of 10, which was one of the highest rated TV shows in Australia. And a lot of people thought that Dannii would be the more popular sibling, but Kylie ended up taking that role. And in this lifetime, Dannii was meant to live a more private life and forge her own path away from the mainstream fame and find success in ways that aren't conventional. Dannii's Mars is in the 4th house in the sign of Aquarius, so it's conjunct her north node. And Mars determines your ambitions, your goals, where you invest your energy. So this placement can make someone who's more invested in home life and domestic activities than in their career. Someone who's protective of their loved ones and someone who's motivated to start a family of their own, since Aquarius is the sign of independence. Mars is also associated with conflicts and arguments and competitiveness. So having it in the 4th house can reinforce this sense of competition between Dannii and her sister Kylie when it comes to originality, innovation, and amassing a following, since these themes fall under Aquarius. Dannii might have the urge to express her uniqueness and fight to be recognized as an individual. And this placement can also deal with Dannii being the odd one out within her family. Dannii's midheaven is in the sign of Cancer, and Cancer is associated with your early life, mainly childhood. So this could indicate Dannii achieving her peak at an early age. And when this happens to you, it can have pressure on you because people put you on a pedestal and expect you to deliver the same level of excellence in your next releases. And you're constantly trying to live up to their expectations, and it can be hard. Britney Spears, which I did her birth chart reading on, in case you forgot, also has a Cancer midheaven, and she was in the spotlight at an early age. She actually did a TV show just like Dannii called the Mickey Mouse Show, and once she started her solo music career, she immediately achieved success. Lindsay Lohan, who I also did a birth chart on, has her midheaven at a Cancer degree, and she has also achieved early fame. And all three of those ladies had that pressure to remain on top. Dannii's midheaven ruler, the moon, is debilitated in the sign of Scorpio, which could explain why she has the reputation she has, since The moon is all about fluctuation, and in the sign of Scorpio, it can bring extreme changes in the career department. Dannii actually has a Scorpio Stellium in her first house. She has her ascendant, her moon, her Mercury, and her Venus all in the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio deals with everything that's hidden, dark, mysterious, taboo. And when you listen to Danny's music, she always focuses on dance club music. She actually has like 13 number one singles in the UK dance charts. So this shows that she's really fulfilling her Aquarius North Node and staying in her own lane and creating her own success away from the typical mainstream standard. That first house, Scorpio stellium, can also make Dannii mysterious in the eyes of the world. It can also make her scary and unapproachable. And Dannii did mention in an interview how her sister Kylie was perceived as the sweet girl next door while she was the bad girl. That Scorpio energy can also make someone very secretive and reluctant to share what's truly on her mind. And Dannii has always been irked by Kylie interview questions, and she always tells us that she's okay, she loves her sister, there's no beef. But I think that she's holding back and not being honest about how she really feels because she doesn't want to play into that bad girl image that people gave her. However, in the long term, this can lead to anxiety, depression, which then he did come forward a few years ago saying how she dealt with anxiety and depression in the past due to the state of her career and her romantic life, and that's very Scorpio like going through negative things, keeping it inside, and then it comes out later on. Scorpio also deals with surgery and transformation, and Dannii did admit to using Botox to feel better about her mental issues. She also did a nude shoot for Playboy to get over a breakup, which is also very Scorpio-like because Scorpio is a very, sexual sign. That Scorpio ascendant can also bring negative life experiences that force someone to become more resilient. And Danny's Scorpio ascendant is conjunct to her Scorpio Venus, and Venus in Scorpio is debilitated, so this can bring negative life experiences surrounding Danny's finances, her relationships, both romantic relationships and business relationships, and also it can bring, you know, traumatic experiences that damage her self-worth and self-esteem since Venus also rules, how you perceive yourself. This placement also suggests Dannii being manipulated, lied to, not having any power, not knowing who to trust. And Scorpio is also a very perceptive and intuitive sign, so this could point to Dannii seeing all the toxic BS in the industry and growing up to become disgusted with it and not wanting to be a part of it. Danny's Scorpio Venus rules her 12th house and her 7th house. And Dannii actually has Libra on her 12th house cusp with her Sun, her Uranus, and her Pluto in it. So this definitely brings a lot of misfortune and loss surrounding relationships and finances. The 12th house also rules hidden enemies, liars, and thieves. So Dannii was probably working with people who didn't truly care about making her better. That Pluto influence can bring betrayal in relationships, while Uranus is the planet of unexpected events and disruptions. Her label actually did drop her while she was in the middle of recording her third studio album in 1995. So that's very, Uranus. Dannii also has Taurus on the 7th house cusp, And the seventh house represents the people you tend to attract in your life. And Taurus is the sign of stability, comfort, financial security, which could mean that Dannii tends to build relationships that are based on money on one hand. On one hand, she could be dating wealthy men only, or on the other hand, this could mean that she's working with greedy individuals that view her only as a money making machine as opposed to a human being. Taurus is also very resistant to change, and when I looked up Danny's love history, I noticed that all of her exes were either Aries suns or Leo suns. So this shows that she tends to date the same type of man, and she seems resistant to dating outside of that type. And this dating pattern can also translate in relations, her business relationships. She tends to work with the same type of people and attract the same type of misfortunes. Also, in her birth chart, Dannii has an Aries Chiron and a Leo South Node. And in synastry, when your South Node is conjunct with your partner's Sun, which was the case with some of her relationships, this can lead to disastrous relationships, since South Node deals with the things you need to let go of, the things that are toxic to you in this lifetime. And it's the same thing when your Chiron is conjunct someone, your partner's Sun, since Chiron represents the things that bring you pain and struggles and wounds. Dannii is a Libra Sun, and the Sun is debilitated in Libra. And that's because the Sun represents your ego, how you express yourself, and also what you're recognized for. And Libra is all about other people, all about relationships. So this can indicate Dannii struggling to shine as an individual, constantly being recognized for her relationship with other people, mainly her sister Kylie, constantly being the supporting one. This can also imply a lack of drive and assertiveness. Danny's Sun is also forming a square to her midheaven, which can make her overlooked by the world, but it can also make her have to work harder to get recognized. This Libra Sun can also point to Dannii being a romantic and prone to getting married. And one of the main differences between Kylie and Dannii is the fact that Kylie has never been married, while Dannii first got married at the age of 23 to Julian McMahon for 2 years, until Julian cheated on Dannii and they broke up. And Julian's mom actually always disapproved of his relationship with Dannii. So this just reinforces that Venus and Scorpio and those negative experiences and relationships. Danny's Saturn is in the sign of Gemini, and Saturn is a malefic planet. It brings hardships and struggles, and Gemini is the sign of siblings. So this placement is a clear indication of Dannii constantly being compared to Kylie, and in most of these comparisons, Dannii comes out as the loser, the less successful one, the less pretty one. And Gemini is also the sign of twins and duplication. And it's no secret that Danny's voice sounds a lot, almost exactly like Kylie's, which didn't help her career. Gemini also rules the press and the media, and most of the Dannii hate has come from tabloids and magazines who called her desperate, they called her a diva, they called her a surgery addict, they constantly twist her words, and they constantly try to tarnish her reputation. That Gemini Saturn can also enhance her Scorpio characteristics, since Gemini is all about communication. It likes to speak up. So Saturn in Gemini can make Dannii reluctant to defend herself, and she needs to learn how to speak her mind and take control of her narrative. Dannii Saturn is opposing her Jupiter, which represents your luck and your opportunities for growth and abundance. So Dannii's success was most likely hindered by all of her struggles surrounding Kylie and her voice and the media. And fun fact, a lot of music producers, when Dannii and Kylie were first starting out in the music business, they didn't want to sign Dannii and Kylie to the same label because they didn't want to damage Kylie's confidence. So this shows that they prioritized Kylie's well-being over Dannii's. And this Saturn and Jupiter opposition is happening in Dannii's second and eighth houses, which are financial and wealth houses. So all of her struggles really affected her financially. Jupiter is also the planet of optimism. So when it's opposed to Saturn, the planet of pessimism, this can create someone who's very prone to feelings of depression. And Dannii's Jupiter is also conjunct to her Neptune, and her Neptune is also opposing her Saturn. Neptune is the planet of lost secrets, hidden enemies, and it's also the planet of scandals. So this Neptune-Jupiter conjunction can limit her growth by way of scandals or sabotage happening behind her back. Dannii also has her Chiron in the sixth house of work and co-workers. So this can point to struggles in the workplace, and it's all her Chiron is in the sign of Aries, and Aries is the sign of conflicts, fights, and tension. So this could point to Dannii lacking this ability to assert herself and stand her ground when it comes to her career. I could go on for longer, but this video is already getting too long, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment and subscribe, and I will see you next week for another chart reading.